So the most important thing to know about Kundalini is that Kundalini is the individuated form of the goddess. In other words, she is Shakti herself. She is that infinite power that is inseparable from the Absolute. She is the creative power of the Absolute. And the reason this is important to understand is because if you don't get this about Kundalini, you don't get that she is not under your control, A, and B, that really speaking, there's nothing she can do to hurt you because she is not other than you. And again, as a practitioner with an awakened Kundalini, I found that particular piece of information is extraordinarily important. In other words, Kundalini is the cosmic intelligence. We just did this meditation on experiencing our own consciousness as holding sound and other experience. How many of you could feel that, by the way? Could sense that? Okay. So for some of you that remained opaque, maybe we'll get back to it. That practice that we just did of really recognizing consciousness, awareness, as the faculty which allows all experience is one of the kind of classical, sometimes called direct path practices. And it's, as you can see, it's based on the recognition that you already are what you seek. You already are consciousness, and therefore you don't have to make anything, create anything. You just have to recognize it. You just have to feel your way into it. And I really invite you, as you listen to me, to ask yourself, okay, what is it that knows I'm hearing her? Or what is it that knows I'm trying to make sense of what she's saying, or whatever? And tune back into that. I keep going like this because it's really, experienced most easily as the containing background of all of this. And it's very telling that in our contemporary time, perhaps because of the evolution that Debashish was talking about yesterday, that Aurobindo and the Mother discussed or taught us, many people say now that we are in a position where our minds are evolved enough, our consciousnesses are awake enough or light enough, such that it's possible to simply recognize the truth about ourselves without having to go through a whole lot of purificatory preparation. And I believe that's partly true, but what we don't take into account is the enormous amount of samskaras, the thoughts that are pouring through us from every corner of the world in which we are exposed to more now than ever because of our technology, obviously. So, theirs is a double-edged experience. We are subtle enough now to go very high and wide and deep, but we're also deeply clogged by the effluvia of world consciousness in its darkened state. And again, in my experience, this is one of the reasons why Kundalini Shakti has, I believe, become kind of commonplace in the spiritual discourse these days. What was once a very secret modality has become obvious and apparent. And our time being what it is, the tendency in contemporary humanity, maybe it's always been the case, is for people to try to act as though the primordial Shakti of the universe could be harnessed, controlled, awakened by deliberate effort, and taken up the sushumna and made to open the chakras. In other words, there's a whole very complex sadhanas of how to awaken and harness Kundalini through yogic practices, which in my experience, is not necessary these days, and which can actually be a distraction from what the tantras, what the non-dual traditions tell us about the awakening of the Divine Mother. And Devashish is going to talk about this in his, as you now know, very beautiful way tomorrow, when he talks about Sri Aurobindo and the Mother's view of Kundalini. But if you, in Kashmir Shaivism, they tell us that Kundalini, who is the primordial power of the universe, Shakti herself, the goddess herself, comes in 3 levels, or she appears to us at 3 levels. So on the individual level, the physical level, the level of the subtle body, which goes, if you remember, with Anava Upaya, the means of the individual, she is known as Prana Kundalini. And Prana Kundalini traditionally awakens in the Muladhara chakra. We'll get to that in a little while. And then supposedly rises through the Sushumna Nadi, opening the chakras, purifying the body, and again I'll say more about it, and eventually rising to the Sahasrara, the topmost spiritual center, where awakenings happen on a deeply radical level. And again, we're going to talk about that later and tomorrow. But there's another level, and I was fascinated to find this out because this was my experience, and I bet it's the experience of most of you. At the Shakta Upaya level, remember this is the level of the subtle energy and the energy of the mind, the energy of consciousness. Kundalini is known as Chit Kundalini, and you remember Chit means conscious, aware. It's the intelligence of the universe. It's the Chit in Chit Ananda. So the nature of the divine and the nature of reality is Chit. It's aware, it's intelligent. Chit Kundalini awakens in the heart. It awakens in the Hridaya, in the Anahata chakra. If you know your chakra system, you know that there are several different chakras in this center. When Kundalini awakens in the heart, when Kundalini awakens as Chit Kundalini, the primary experience is the awakening of your longing for the divine, your longing for liberation, and the capacity to understand subtle spiritual truths. In other words, you can get these teachings. The sages say, and I think it's quite true, you can get these teachings only when your consciousness has been awakened, when Chit Kundalini has been awakened. The awakening of Chit Kundalini is not necessarily flashy and dramatic, although it can be. Doesn't necessarily show up as energy flowing intensely through the body, or rushing up the spine, or visions, or any of those dramatic experiences, but usually as a kind of radical shift of your vision and your priorities. And again, if you're familiar with contemporary spiritual understanding about awakening, you know that this word awakening is often used in many of the non-dual traditions to refer to the recognition that you are not the body, you are not the egoic self, you are not your thoughts and opinions, you are not your ego. This is actually an expression of the awakening of Chit Kundalini. So when teachers like Adyashanti and Gangaji and Ramana Maharshi say that, well, Ramana doesn't say this, but some of the contemporary teachers say, oh, Kundalini awakening, it's just about the body. It's not necessary. The true awakening is the awakening of your the disambiguation of consciousness from the upadis, from the things that color it. They're right in one sense, but what they don't understand is that what that direct path awakening is the awakening of a subtler level of Kundalini than the yogis are talking about. because what the tradition says is actually you cannot experience liberation, you cannot awaken, you cannot know the truth without Kundalini. It's Kundalini is she's known as the yogini. It's said without Kundalini, and it's said in one of the Yoga Upanishads, without Kundalini awakening, liberation is just a dream. So, but what we have to understand is the Kundalini awakening does not have to look like it looks in the dramatic stories where it rushes up the spine. So, Kundalini at the highest level, at the level of really ultimate liberation, which is called Samashti Kundalini, which Samashti means all-pervading. And it goes with Shambhavanupaya, the recognition of I am that. And Samashti Kundalini is Kundalini revealing herself as everything that is. It's the moment when the world turns inside out and starts showing you itself as light. We were talking about it a little bit yesterday. Swamiji was talking about Sahaja Samadhi. Samashti Kundalini can manifest in an indrawn meditative experience, as everything on the outside dissolving into consciousness and into a nirguna Brahman state, within which the recognition is that the divine is all there is. So Samashti Kundalini is the revelation, the divine is all there is, inside and outside, whether you're experiencing it with your eyes closed or if you're fortunate with your eyes open. So as we start talking about Kundalini and the rise of Kundalini, and I will do that a bit, and we will do it a bit tomorrow,